Hello, welcome to Dev Radio. I'm here with Nasha and Carleone, who are the team that created a project called Polycord in the most recent March Innovation Challenge hackathon. Um, it's the overall challenge you guys were solving for was so make the lives of the professionals who help people with disabilities stay in the workforce. Use AI to make their lives easier. It's kind of broad, and you guys did some really interesting stuff. I think you kind of combined uh, like sort of aptitude assessment, personality assessment, sort of information to kind of help people match up better with jobs. But I'm not describing it well. Why don't you tell us what you built?
Nasha, go ahead.
Sure, no problem. So, Polycord is an AI powered application that aims to bridge the gap between job coaches and those looking for jobs. But we specifically wanted to focus on those with communication barriers. We noticed that amongst most people who struggle to get jobs for, maybe they have a disability or maybe they just got into the workforce late, most of them share that they have some sort of communication issue. So it could be as simple as English. So standard English isn't their primary language. So it's difficult for them to go through the process. And it could be that they only use sign language. So there's not really a space for them to actually get into the workforce, at least without assistance. So we thought that Polycord would be a really, really good way to assist those people and even help job coaches to assist those people. For example, without the job coach needing to know a bunch of different languages or sign language, or maybe even not being strong in a bunch of different languages, they could use Polycord to kind of get that support. And then one of the core features of Polycord is to focus on job specific parts of the language. So, for example, I want to work at a coffee shop. So the first thing I'm gonna learn is what's coffee, what's milk, how do I say how can I help you? Focus on that as opposed to learning perhaps about flowers.
You guys had 2 weeks to build this. How did you do it?
Okay, so I would say we began with the idea. We sat down, we thought about it, we thought what was relatable to us. So different languages. Over here, we learn languages throughout our entire lives. So primary school, secondary school, whatnot, university, Chinese, and everything. So we are trying to bring something different, trying to make you learn something that is relevant to you and relevant to your situation. And after that, we began to code. We designed the front end, we designed the back end, which models we're using from the Azure AI, and then we, you know, connected everything and then submitted.
You make it sound easy. What
Yeah.
you say? Here we learn
Oh,
languages all our lives. You guys are in Jamaica, right? So what? Tell us about your background.
yes.
How did you become AI uh, developers?
Oh yeah, I'll go first.
Sure. So
Um,
I have. Oh, okay, go for it.
okay, yeah, I'll go first. So growing up, I was born in Trinidad, and then so I did a little bit of primary school there. Moved to Dominica, did a little primary school there. Then moved back to Trinidad, and then I began doing robotics as a kid, and then all the way to the whole of secondary school really. And then I did a associate degree in like St. Kitts, which was really good. They taught us a lot on information technology. And now as I'm in the university, we were introduced to like AI, which is really interesting. And I've seen other programs that I've been in that have introduced me to AI. Um, I've done data science and whatnot. So
Nice. That's a good journey. What about you, Nasha? How did you get ready for this?
Funnily enough, right. No, funnily enough, we actually have similar paths, Carleon and I. Of not that I was in Trinidad and then St. Kitts, though, all in Jamaica. But I think I've always been really into learning, like trying and failing, trying and failing. So generally, learning has always been an interest.
So
So funnily enough, I also got into robotics because I think that's kind of a core aspect of it, like kind teaching the robot to do what you want it to do to make your life easier. So I also did robotics early, did it all the way up to high school, started
Mhm.
teaching robotics. And then I kind of wanted to branch out, see what else is there in this sort of automotive or learning sort of experience. So Carla and I both do data science now. I looked into AI as well. So I think it's a meaningful trajectory. And funnily enough, I think it was last year when I met Androsky and I heard about Project Blue Mountain. I think that's kind of where I got kicked into gear, in terms of, oh no, I can do more in development, like I'm capable. So I'm really really happy that he kind of introduced me to some of the Azure tools, so I can, oh, like I can lean on this to, I guess, be way, way stronger in building my solutions. And I think that's exactly what happened. Like, I don't think I would have even conceptualized something like this last year, this time.
that is awesome to hear. So you mentioned Project Blue Mountain. That was going to be my next question. Project Blue Mountain is it's you know it's essentially it's a project driven by a bunch of Microsoft employees who are from Jamaica or have connections to the Caribbean, and I work with them because they're super passionate about what they do, and they take a lot of their own time um, to teach and they're I'm so impressed with just how they go about what they do. They're like, okay, I've got to help out here. And so how I know they do an annual, I think it's in October, they do a big Microsoft day. Tell us a little bit more about Project Blue Mountain. How do you work with them? How did you find them? How can someone else find them if they're in Jamaica? Too many questions.
Nash,
Would you like to go first, Carlin?
go for
Oh,
it, Nash.
sure.
So,
No problem. Um, so as Matthew said, Project Blue Mountain kind of connects to something called Microsoft Day. And it happens every year around September, October. And I think it's a really good opportunity to learn while you develop. I think one of the biggest barriers to entry in terms of the industry and actually creating useful solutions is fear and feeling like you don't know. So I think Project Blue Mountain is one of the best ways to learn more and feel like you know enough to at least try. Like you don't need to know everything, but even just to be equipped with the tools to try. I think that's awesome. So you should, if you're listening and this sounds awesome to you, you're in Jamaica and you'd like to hear more, keep your ears on the ground because very, very soon you should be hearing way more about it. Funnily enough, Matthew, at the time I was ill, so I didn't even get to do Project Blue Mountain. It's just through preparing for it that the trajectory started. So,
Yeah.
imagine that I was able to create all of this and I didn't even get to do the
Yeah.
hackathon. Can you imagine,
Yeah.
what you can accomplish by going there, and just trying, honestly.
yeah.
Carleon, you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and furthermore, we have like weekly meetings, well, classes really, where different people from Microsoft come and teach, and it's really engaging and so much passion, like to actually see people in the field, like doing actual change and seeing
Yeah.
who they are. I don't know, it's different. So going through that and then doing certifications. This one was actually my first certification, um, a unique experience, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's been a great help to me. And doing the hackathon, I didn't get to do the Microsoft Day hackathon
Mhm.
because my time schedule was not
Mhm.
very good at that time. But it really taught me a different mindset of creating projects. Where before I would think of an application I would use, but now I think of people who are differently able. How can I help them? Or how different paths, really, instead of just like social media, we can actually make change.
That's awesome. You guys, thank you so much for your time today. I hope that you come back and compete in the June Innovation Challenge Hackathon. or you might be busy with a new job because you'll open up some new doors with the opportunities.
Mhm.
But again, just thanks a ton, and take care.
Peace.
All right. Thank you so much for having us. Bye.